So before I begin, I'd like to say that I'm not going to be talking about um, the recent situation in depth because Gabby, the minor who was the victim in the situation, has already made a video on it, and they've asked people specifically not to make a video on it. So I will not go into depth about it in respect of her wishes, and I will just simply be stating the things I believe led up to it, and what well really the Warrior Cat community should have done so that it could have been avoided entirely. So to start off with, please do not contact Buttons, Coyote Lovely, and PK Russell about the situation. The former two, because they have had previous arguments of Nate in the past, and they do not seek to make the situation better. They only see personal gain in piling harassment upon Nate. So please do not contact them. Please do not provide them any evidence. They have also done pretty bad things in the past, so they should not be seen as innocent again in this situation. So, just my little disclaimer. I'd also like to say that I do not believe I'm in a fortunate situation. I seek to make no personal gain off of it, and this all should be taken with a grain of salt because I'm 15 and I just really feel extremely disgusted by everything that's going on, and I just need somewhere to express it. So, go henceforth and listen or choose not to listen based on what I've said. Yeah. So I'm not digging up Nate's past behavior to completely cancel them or anything. I just want to say that there's been a lot of past behavior they've done that has been very hurtful and just has not been challenged by the community enough because it's either glossed over or any opinions being voiced that are concerned with Draikinator's behavior have been ridiculed and just slammed for because people generally tend to lump them in with the people who criticize Draikinator's LGBT headcanons, and I completely respect them. I believe they are Nate's headcanons, and that they have every right to make them, and that the people criticizing them are, well, either just straight up LGBT phobic, or some of them have actual valid concerns about the headcanons, like trans Silverstream, and well, those are legitimate, but I believe the entire situation was just handled really badly, and even though Nate is not mentally stable, they should have handled the situation in a better way, taken a breather and stepped away from the computer a bit, so that they could figure out how to draft a proper reply to them, and to take into account how other people feel about their opinions and their statements without just thinking about how it makes them feel foremost. Yeah. So, well, in regards to the trans Silverstream situation, Parker, the person who criticized it, is a transgender guy, and he has every right to feel uncomfortable with that headcanon, and I'd like to also acknowledge the fact that Nate is trans, and while Nate had consulted their trans male friends before they put up the trans Silverstream headcanon video, I believe that they're saying that they had trans male friends kind of discredits the opinions of other transgender men, and that was altogether unnecessary, and they should have simply apologized for it and moved on instead of just fecklessly defending themselves. Secondly, there's also the Angel Hawk situation, which is also pretty horrifying. Where basically Nate defended their friend who drew child porn in a transphobic manner because the child in question was transgender. And I believe that because Nate had condemned people like Spunky and Diana Draws for things like that, and the fact that they defended their friend for, well, not similar, similar behavior, because Spunky and Diana actually actively went after minors, while Angel Hawk drew minors in NSFW positions. It was still wrong for Nate to defend their friend. They should have acknowledged it was wrong. They shouldn't have dismissed it, so to speak. And it is just completely horrid that they believe themselves to be morally righteous when they've gone against what they've said and just generally betrayed the trust of the community. And there have been also like screenshots going around Tumblr of how Nate lashed out at a fellow CSA survivor, and for once I'd like to say that was taken out of context because the CSA survivor was actually harassing Nate. It was taken out of context, and Nate snapped, it was somewhat justified, and yeah. And also, they've used their CSA experience to the fact that their CSA survivor in their apologies, like the one towards Gabby, and the fact that they are mentally disabled, and I believe that had no place in an apology. Any apology, if it was going to be worded in such a manipulative and guilt-tripping, gaslighting manner. Because Nate has condemned Diana for basically saying that she was crying about the entire situation while saying that they themselves were having a mental breakdown and believing everyone to forgive them because they were having a mental breakdown. And I completely understand that this has caused them to have a mental breakdown, and I believe people should not criticize their mental instability. But like many people say, because they're mentally unstable, Draikinator should not have made himself prominent in a community of minors without having the mental competence to just generally provide a minor-friendly image towards them and not create a culture of fear that was not entirely their own fault to begin with. So I'm going to be moving on to some of the people who've defended Nate. I am not going to be naming any of them by name. I respect them. I still respect them despite everything that's happened, and I want to give them the chance to kind of like just wake up from this entire situation and realize that Nate isn't a perfect person, and they need to acknowledge that what they've done is completely wrong. So people in the past, as I've said, have defended Nate because they've been the people who've been criticizing Nate's behavior have been lumped in with people like Buttons, Coyote Lovely, and PK Russell, and the other people who just bash on the trans headcanons and all the LGBT headcanons they make. And I believe, like, the kinds of things those people say, it's like, stop dogpiling on Nate, stop attacking Nate, when they themselves have supported Nate in completely bashing other people, like the person who, the miner who made the spotted thistle map. They have been relentlessly bashed by the same people who bash people for supposedly attacking Nate, while they themselves have perpetrated the behavior against a miner who did not realize what they did was wrong and did not glean any information to the situation before just heads on attacking the miner who made the spotted thistle map. Those people just write people who criticize Nate off as mental, so to speak, and I'm sorry, and crazy and toxic, and these are all just buzzwords that are being thrown around to discredit people who criticize Nate because of what Nate's done for the community, and I respect all that Nate has done for the community. I believe that they've really put the workout community to a much higher level than it was years before, and just generally was pretty much a revolutionary for a lot of things in the fandom. But this does not excuse the fact that they've done things that are just completely wrong. And I will provide receipts if you DM me on Discord. I will put my Discord link down below. But anyways, these people are just telling, like, they're saying, oh, if you can't be nice, then go back to kindergarten. And they themselves have used passive-aggressive and completely aggressive behavior to bash people that Nate has bashed in the past, while condemning that behavior when it is expressed towards Nate. And now I believe that no one deserves that behavior unless they are an express pedophile or zoophile or just someone who generally hurts others. But you cannot, the crow cannot call the kettle black. You cannot defend Nate without acknowledging what you have said in the past towards people that Nate has called out, supposedly, mistakenly, not the actual problematic people that have been called out, but the minor things that some people have done in this community. And I really believe that Nate could have grown if people had privately talked to them about their toxic behavior, and if Nate was open enough to acknowledge the fact that some of the behavior they were displaying was toxic in nature. But they weren't allowed to grow because of the people who have relentlessly defended them. And I think it's good to have friends who stand by you when you have no one else to turn to. But really, all those people who don't, like, support Nate, but to just refuse to acknowledge they've done anything wrong, they've coddled Nate, and they've suppressed their growth and their ability to mature within the community, and maybe even, like, not do any of the things that they've done up to this point. If it had been handled privately in the beginning, Nate wouldn't have escalated to publicly condemning so many people in such rapid amounts of time. And I completely respect their mental situation. The fact that they're a CSA survivor, the fact that they've been human trafficked, but they cannot use these things in their apology and expect people to immediately forgive them when just a week before, and also just generally saying that they're sorry about the whole situation, expecting people to forgive them, when Spotted Fire 25 said the exact same thing, and Nate bashed on them for it. And while I believe Spotted Fire has also done bad things, Nate just completely disregarded their apology and just, expressed some passive-aggressive statement about being happy that they stepped down from the community. And now that that the tables have turned on them, they didn't bother to step into Spotfire's shoes and think about what it had made them feel. And now the tables that have turned them, they feel completely shocked, and I am shocked that they feel completely shocked, because they just refuse to see the impact that they've had on other people, and especially the minors they interact with. And I also acknowledge the fact that they've told minors to go die mad about LGBT headcanons in the past, and I believe that it is completely valid that Nate must have not known their age or whatever, but their reactions are just extreme, to say the least. And people defending them as prickly are just sweeping the whole situation under the rug and not allowing a valid discussion on the matter. So please, if you support Nate, please just take a look at the entire situation and acknowledge that what they've done is wrong. And I'm not saying you have to hate Nate, but you have to recognize that Nate is not an angel. Nate has done something bad. It is, one of them is a federal crime. I live in Hong Kong, so I have no idea what the law is like in America, but it is a crime. And you need to stop believing that Nate is 100% in the right, because you discredit the people who are criticizing them. It is completely wrong. It is disrespectful towards the victim. And in Gabby's video, there were grown-ass adults who were saying, hail Draikinator, hail Allah, and just generally spamming and trolling the live stream chat, because they were petty about the entire situation while Gabby was fighting adults while she's a literal 15-year-old child who is the same age that I am. She did not intend to antagonize Draikinator. She did not walk into the lion's den, but Draikinator sought out her tweet and just sent her things without her consent. And that is both a crime and just completely morally unacceptable. You need to accept that Nate has done something bad, and that they need to step away from the community, and that the people who are criticizing them have actual valid things to say. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope that you took something away from this video, and that you actually you actually take some of the points I've said in. I'm sorry if this video has been so all over the place, but I felt like I needed to make a video quick to express my opinion. And once again, I do not seek to profit off of this situation. I just have the evidence if you want it. Buttons, Coyote Lovely, PK Russell, don't contact me. I don't want to associate with you. But if you need it, if you don't know about the situation, please contact me and I will provide you with all the necessary information. But I do not have NSFW evidence because, like I said, I'm a minor and I cannot possess it. So yeah. Thank you for listening to me. Please, to everyone affected by the situation, take a breather, put a face mask on. Just have some fresh air and recover from the situation, please. I beg you. Take care of your mental health, everyone, and thank you again. Goodbye.